very rainy and dreary August day. So I thought, what better than to have a little chat about my top 5 tips for getting your first novel written. And here is number 1. The biggest problem with not finishing a first novel is not finishing a first novel. I know lots of people who start out with good intentions and they just give up. Sometimes they give up at chapter 5, sometimes they give up at the dreaded 40,000 words, and sometimes they just spend their whole life trying to make that first chapter perfect. No, don't do it. Error. Make sure you write that book all the way to the end. Write that first draft, get it all down on paper, then you have something to work with. Don't wait for inspiration to strike before you start writing. Make inspiration happen. And the only way to do that is hard work. You have to get to your desk, sit down and start getting those words out. Inspiration is something that comes from thinking, from writing, from working it out, from writing all the rubbish words, and then suddenly the good words will come. So make that inspiration happen. Plan your novel, or at least know it. It's really great to have an idea. You start out with an idea, you're really excited about it. But often that idea that you've had isn't enough for you to be able to finish a novel. Sometimes it is, but maybe not, especially not if it's your first novel. So take time to think about your idea. Take time to explore it. Some people call this sitting, but I call it head writing. Write down the directions that you want your novel to go in and have what I like to call a very basic roadmap. You know, a beginning, a middle and an end. You don't have to plot it densely if you don't want to. Or if you want to, you can. But before you start writing, have an idea about where this book is going. Stuff needs to happen in your novel from the very beginning. The plot needs to start on page 1. Don't forget this. I know it seems obvious, but if you don't know your novel, if you haven't really thought about it, you might be doing a lot of working out on the page. You might be telling yourself the story and telling yourself the backstory. That's all fine in your first draft, but don't let that still be there when you get to a draft that you want to show to an agent or an editor. For me, there are 3 key elements that elevate a novel from being more than just the sum of its parts. And I'm talking about characterization, emotion, and theme. Take some time to know your characters, to learn their secrets, listen to them, let them develop. Before you start writing a novel, sure, but on the page. Then soon they'll tell you their own stories, but make sure they're real people, 3-dimensional people, people your reader's going to care about. If you're writing a book that you want to make your readers laugh or cry or feel frightened, then you need to be thinking about emotion. And the best way to write emotion is to feel it when you're writing it. Don't phone it in. You've got to be there in the moment, on that page, in that scene with your characters. Really, really go there in your writing. Theme, I think, is something really important that brings a book out and brings its colour and its shade and its nuances out. So before you start writing, think, what do I want to say with this book? What is it about, apart from the story? When my reader finishes this book, what will they be thinking? So that's my top 5 tips for getting that novel going and getting to the end. And I guess I probably better stop this now and get my own novel going before I get into trouble. So I'll see you soon. Bye.